Hello, my loves. I'm Raven Douglas, and welcome to the journey. So, today is a bit of a story time. I'm talking about the day where gun violence showed up to my doorstep, but thankfully, God's favor, God's timing was right there to answer. To preface, I know people go through so much worse, have seen so much worse. It's just obviously this isn't something that I'm used to, so it was scary for me, and I just think about how much worse it could have gotten had God not stepped in. So that's the reason that I want to talk about it. So with that being said, let's get right into it. So boom, if you know me, then you know I am Raleigh bred, born, raised. 919 all the way. Love y'all down. Shout out to 919. So with that being said, I'm blessed to never have had to change addresses. So my childhood home where all my memories are, them hoop sessions in the driveway, all of my friend groups, going off to prom, going off to my eighth grade, like everything. That's my childhood home. My childhood home is where my comfort people are. It's my comfort space. And I'm saying all this to kind of add context to that specific day. So, my first ever move came when I went to college. And I didn't go just right down the street. I went to Quinnipiac University in Hamden, freaking Connecticut. Anybody who knows anything about college knows that it's not easy. It's extremely hard, especially as a student athlete. You're navigating a lot of different things, and you can't just run back to your comfort space, your comfort people when you're so far from home. That's not something that I was used to. So with that being said, every moment that I got at home, I needed it. So my mom knew how hard it was for me, of course. And so one thing that she did for me whenever I would go home, she would make my favorite foods. And one of my favorites from her is spaghetti. So on this particular night, I asked my Mom, can you make me some spaghetti, of course. And she said, yeah, like for sure. But she just said, we need some things from the store. So I need you to go get the stuff from the store. Food line is 2 minutes down the street. That's too easy. That's too easy. So I throw on my clothes and I head out the door. Got a little pep in my step. I'm like, I'm about to eat good tonight, whatever, whatever. Head on to the store. Okay, while I was editing, I realized I just kind of jumped ahead. So to eliminate confusion, I made it to the store, grabbing everything, and am on my way out. But as I'm leaving, I get a little inkling, a little feeling to go get me a scratch off. I'm thinking, so I usually don't be getting this feeling. So I'm thinking, okay, maybe I'm about to win some money. Maybe this is a good little sign. So I turn back around, I go get the scratch off. Walking out, I'm feeling really good. I'm like, okay, maybe this is a good little sign. Remember this detail when I talk about timing. Remember this part. So I go ahead, I get a scratch off, I get in the car, and I'm on the way back. So I get back to my neighborhood and everything's pretty normal to me. Like I'm not thinking anything. I'm heading down. For the way that my neighborhood is set up, it's my neighbor's house. Then it's an intersection, my neighbor's house, then my house. And as I'm driving down, I notice that there's a black car on the other side in front of my neighbor's house. Now, to me, that's nothing out of the ordinary. My neighbors, like we grew up together. That's like my second family. The sons in that house, those are like my brothers for real. Well, they're a big family in general. So they already have like cars that like line the street in front of their house. And then my brothers have friends that can drive. So usually they're over, and sometimes there are cars that I don't recognize. So I'm just thinking it's a car, one of them, one of their friends, whatever. So as I'm riding past that black car that I talked about, it's a guy trying to get out of the car. He was about to get out of the car, but as I pass, he gets back in his car. Again, I'm not thinking of nothing of it. I'm thinking he just don't want his door to be dragged off. I'm riding past. I'm not thinking nothing of that, right? So I pass him and I pull into my driveway. So grabbing my stuff out of the car. I go ahead and get out. And I'm thinking, now that I'm thinking back on it, I feel like this timing aligns to this is why I didn't see. So what I didn't see is the car pulled up, pulled up past my driveway, like it was heading down the street, but sat like right on the other side of my house, basically on the other side of my driveway, so that I would think it's passing, but it was really just sitting right there. I didn't see it. Again, I'm not fully paying attention, but I feel like because I didn't see it, that was during the time that I was grabbing my groceries. So I'm walking toward my steps when I feel a presence approach me. Like I feel someone running up on me. So I glance over my shoulder. And when I glance over my shoulder, I see the ski mask and I see the all black. But to show you how like low my guard was and how innocently I saw the world at the time, I thought it was like one of my friends like playing a little joke on me. Like me and my friends, we joke, we play a lot. I thought it was somebody that just knew me, was kind of run up on me joking or whatever. So it's like I was taking it lightly at first. Then it slowly moved into shock. And then when I realized what he had in his hands, when I saw that piece of metal in his hands, it's like my stomach just like dropped. It just So he curved around my car and approached me. As he was approaching me, it was like raised but like lower. It was kind of lower, like at my legs maybe. And when I start to register what's going on, I kind of like freeze up. And he goes, "Give me it." And I don't really know how to respond. I'm like, "Give you what?" Like this is when I'm starting to like raise my hands, like, "Give you what?" And he raises it at my stomach and he says, "Your money, like give me all of it." And that's when he kind of raises it to my stomach and takes a step forward. And that's when like now I'm like panicking and I have my like grocery bags in my matter of fact, I think I had my wallet in my hand. I think I had my wallet in my hand at the time, but I'm sitting here panicking. I probably ain't got no money in the wallet anyway. But I raise my hands and I go like, I don't have any. I don't have any money. I don't have any money. And like I said, he takes the steps and it's pointing at my stomach at this point. So he takes another half step to me. And at that point, the door busts open. I just hear the door bust open. And my dad, "Hey!" And he just boom, bust through the door, take off, take off, take off. So mind you, it's like in close proximity. So everything happens in like a split second. It happens in a split second. So the door busts open. My dad takes off after him. Whoever was driving the car sees that, I guess it's taking too long or it's whatever. Maybe he sees my dad come out. I don't know like how that's the fastest I've ever seen my dad move. So I don't know how he didn't reach that person. But the dude in the dude in the car, he hollers like, "Hey, let's go, let's go." I see the gunman like kind of hesitate. He did a double take and then he takes off running. My dad right behind him. Boom, boom, boom. So he gets to the car and they speed off. My dad's behind him like, "Hey," like just, oh my God. Like this is like the most I've seen my dad like fired up. Like he take off after the car, like going, going, going. Obviously the car speeds off. He ain't catching no car. So when I see my dad take off, I'm kind of like still like processing what happened. So it's like my brain is so clouded. Like I'm sitting here, I feel like the gun was kind of like engraved in my brain at that time. So I'm just like dad could have just been crazy. Like that's crazy. There's no way this just happened. Then it's like quickly switching to my dad's not even armed. Like what is he like? Check like what's about to happen. It's like my brain is like racing right now, right? And so I'm just like frozen, just standing there. Like I'm holding the keys in my hand, holding the groceries in my hand. Like all this stuff is still in my hand. I'm just like standing there. Like I don't even know what to do. My dad took off behind them. Obviously he didn't catch him. So he comes sprinting back to me. And again, he's like the maddest. He's like the maddest that he's like I've ever seen him. And he's like yelling. He's like, "Raven, like, give me the keys, give me the keys, give me the keys, give me the keys." And I'm sitting here like, I don't know nothing else. I'm like I said, my mind is bogged, whatever. But I know I don't need to let go of these keys right now. I know I do not need to let my dad go after them right now. I'm like, at this point, I'm like bawling, crying, like. I'm like, "Dad, like, no, like, Dad, you can't, like, Dad, no, 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 it's fine, we're good, we're alive, Dad, please don't, Dad, like, no, like, this is what I'm telling him, like, I'm just trying to, like, I just know not to let go of the keys, I know he don't need to go after them." And he, like, not hearing none of that. My dad is not hearing, like, he's mad. So he not hearing none of that. He sprints back in the house. My mom, I think my mom was already outside by this point because she hears us hollering and stuff. My mom's already outside. My dad sprint back in the house, get the other keys. He get in the car. He take off and go after them. Like he gone. I'm just in there bawling my eye. Like I'm just standing there just bawling my eyes out. My mom's trying to comfort me like, Raven, what happened? Raven, what happened? And I'm trying to get it out, but it's like I can't because I'm like crying, you know what I'm saying? Like I can't even breathe. And so I explained to her what happened. She calls 911. At this same time, my brother, he come out the house, out the neighbor house. And like my brothers, like they don't play about me. They never play about me. So none of us, they don't play about none of my family. So he come out the house. My brother carries. He was a security guard at the time. He's like, what happened? What happened? And so by then I think my mom had to explain to him what happened. He go get his stuff. He get in the car. He take off the other way. So it's like I'm standing there like just crying because I think everything is like setting in. And my mom on the phone with the police. And I remember, or I think my mom, whatever, we remember that my sister had went to take the dog on the walk. So it was like I called my sister like, hey, you need to get home like right now. You need to get home right now. So that's three people that's out looking. I'm just thinking like if these people is running up on an unarmed girl, like they not about to care. Like that's three people now I got to worry about that's not at the house. Like y'all get like, you know what I'm saying? So it didn't take long for RPD to show up. Actually, shout out to them. I don't know if they done anything crazy recently. I maybe shouldn't be shout out to them, but they actually pulled up quickly and they was really attentive, really patient, really nice. Again, like I said, I'm crying so hard that it's like I'm trying to give them a statement and stuff, but it's like it's hard to get the details. I already know they needed to be patient with me. So shout out them. They got there. And again, it was still a lot going on. My sister got back. My dad and my brother is still gone. And my boyfriend at the time was calling my phone. Like he had FaceTime me normally, but he saw the police lights and he's asking like, hey, what's going on? What's going on? What's going on? So again, it's just a lot on the situation. Like it's a lot adding on to the situation basically. So after I calm down, I try to give RPD like a better statement because at this point they see, okay, now I'm gonna ask her questions or whatever. So I'm trying to give them like the details, and then I'm realizing it's like some of the stuff I don't even remember. Like it's frustrating me too because it's like this just happened. It just happened right in my face. I can tell the police these details, and it could help them find the people that they should be looking for, so that they don't do it again. So it's like, I'm like, Raven, like, remember. I'm like stressing about the details and stuff. Like they asked, I think like, of course, what he had on, how tall do you remember he was, what car was they driving? Like, do you remember what hand he had the gun in or something like that? Just detailed type questions. And I'm trying to give them everything, but it's like, now it's like, did I make that up? Da, 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 da. Eventually my dad pulls back up. My brother pulls back up. Obviously, they couldn't find them, but they didn't see anything because the dude's like sped off or whatever. But I'm just I think that's when like the wave of relief kind of washes over me because it's like I feel like the whole time I was also kind of tense and making sure I don't hear no other gunshots because I'm just thinking like, my dad is not armed. My dad is not armed, and he is angry. Like he is going after these people. He is gunning after these people, and he is not armed. So I was kind of calmed down to see everybody pull back up. Raleigh PD stayed out there with us. They had people obviously canvass the area, but they stayed out there with us. So we all just kind of sat out there in my driveway, and we just kind of talked the details over and over. My dad for sure had to like calm down. Like we never really calmed down, but it's like he had to get off of where he was. I had to calm down and just like, cause I think again everything was just hitting. So I had stopped. The crying had slowed down and everything. It's just now I'm just sitting there like having to, I think, kind of process like what just happened and what could have happened basically. So we sitting over there going over the details, going over the details, going over the details. My neighbors come outside, they sit with us. My cousins, they come over and check on me. Like I have a good support system. So people came around, was like checking, and we was just talking about it and stuff. But that night, I don't feel like any of us really calmed down and realized it, especially with it being like we grew up in this, we've been in this house so long, and it has something happen like right there and right there in the driveway, right there at our door. It's like this is wild, basically. It honestly took us a few days to of talking about it, of just running through it, of talking to each other to really realize how God showed up in the moment. So we broke it down moment by moment. Starting with, I told y'all, remember the lottery ticket, the timing on that. So it took me, obviously I was already out the door. It took me a few extra minutes or whatever, go back in there and get that. We keep thinking like, if I hadn't have drawn their attention, who would they have got? My neighbor said that she was outside. And my neighbor's older woman. She was out there walking, and she said the dude had, one of the drivers had approached her nicely before, like earlier in the day or whatever, just kind of asking whatever. I guess that's when they was trying to canvass the area. But he was trying to get out of his car before I drove by. Was he gonna attack her? Was he gonna approach her again? Were they looking for somebody else? Who would they have gone to if I hadn't drawn the attention right then and there? That's God's timing. Also, I did not win any money, by the way. So, anyway, now the next moment with my dad. The way my house is set up, when you open the door and you walk in, you're immediately going into the hallway. To your left, you have a living room. You keep going down, you walk right into the kitchen, and then there's the sunroom on the right side. Whenever my dad gets home, he always automatically goes into the kitchen furthest away and then sits in the sunroom. He never goes into the living room. The only place that he would have basically been able to see me and get to me that fast. Not only did he sit in that, have a feeling or something, I don't even want to say have a feeling. Not only did he just happen to be sitting in there that day, he was sitting in the only seat that's basically facing the window to where he would have seen me. Usually, if he sits in the living room, he sits in the seat to where he's looking at the TV. But by God's grace, he's sitting in the chair that's facing the window looking outside to where he could see what happened. That's God's positioning. Now, the third moment that we think about with the key. For some reason, I told y'all, my mind was so clouded. My thoughts were racing. My body was it was frozen up. But for some reason, the only thing I knew was to not let go of that key and not let my dad go after them right then and there. That's the only thing I knew for certain. I can't let my dad go after them right now. I got to hold on to this. That's God's spirit. That's God's favor. My dad was unarmed. Those people could have easily shot back at him, could have seen him following them, could have shot back at him to stop him. As he came out the door, the gunman could have been trigger happy. That could have been it right there. It could have just escalated so much. But God just had his hand on the situation. That's favor. That's his spirit. So like I said, it took us a few days to really realize how God moved in this moment, moved in this day. We had to talk about it over and over to really get there. Why? Because sometimes it's easy to think about a moment and just be like, God, like, why? Like, what was that? You know what I mean? And it's so easy to feel like stuff is just piling up and just to think about the negative. So personally, at the time, I was going through a lot basketball wise, a lot relationship wise. So it just seemed like things was just piling up. So it's easy to sit there and be like, God, what is going on? What did I do? When the enemy is trying to pursue you, a lot of times it's easy to miss where God is truly showing up. It's also easy to focus on the scars that these types of things leave on you. Like for my dad, like he was so angry again about what happened. He didn't want me and my sister really going anywhere. He wanted to get a gun. He wanted me to take self-defense, get a gun. Then he also, I remember my mom telling me, like, he was telling her, like, they just put a gun on my baby. They just put a gun on my child. Like, that's not nothing you just move past. Personally, I was constantly checking over my shoulder. I was nervous going places. Like, I was nervous to kind of come home. like anytime when like the sun was going down or anything like that. For a while I was beating myself up and really replaying what happened in my mind. Like, how can you not remember these details? What if you wasting the time and like not knowing the details got somebody else hurt? Like, I kept on trying to replay it in my mind so I could give the police something else. Then I just also looked at the world so much differently. Like, those rose colored glasses definitely came off and I saw it for what it was, the world for what it was, and people for what it is, if that makes sense. Which kind of hurt because it's like, you got to grow up. You know what I mean? It was one of those wake up calls. Like, you got to grow up at this point. That could have cost you your life. So there were definitely scars that were left, which sometimes as Christians we forget that comes with the territory. You know, sometimes we forget that there are those evil forces out there. They really want to get to you. But in these moments of attacks, in these moments of lows or just those bad feelings, that's when God's timing, God's favor, God's power, God's faithfulness is just made clear. It's in those moments where we think about or may experience the pain first that we see He really is showing up and He's right there with us. On top of that, though, it also raised questions in my mind too. Why me? Why my family? I'm definitely not the most obedient in the world. I was going through a lot. I was falling into sin too. So it's like I wasn't moving any way special to receive or deserve God's favor in that moment. It's like, why was I able to receive favor in this moment when I've seen people that I know, people my age, my area, fall to this same thing? Messiah Pitt, Jamisha Person, Malik Ellerby. It's a list of people who fell victim to this very same thing. Why was I able to receive favor in this moment? And that's a question that I still don't know the answer to. But when I think about some things that I do know that I serve a faithful God who is faithful and blesses to the and rewards to the generations. My dad always tells me that he had a praying grandmother. Was this an answered prayer? Was this faithfulness to her? I don't know. We're called in the Bible to share our testimony. Psalm 107:2, let the redeemed of the Lord say so. On top of that, my pastor, I want to say it was either last week or a week before, he said, your most powerful weapon is your testimony. Maybe this is my weapon to remember of God's timing whenever I'm in battle again and the enemy's trying to get to me, whenever I'm starting to doubt or I'm starting to forget. Maybe this is the weapon I just need to use as I continue to navigate life. Or maybe this is the weapon that God wants to use to pierce somebody else's heart. Maybe somebody else needed to hear this. God's thoughts are way, way, way greater than mine, than I can ever begin to imagine. I just know God is an intentional God and He does everything with reason. So with that being said, I'm just going to follow His instruction and be a witness to Him having His way. I love you all. Thank you for joining. Thank you for listening.